Hello students, this is Pallav Darbari, your host, and you are watching Pallav Darbari classes. In this video, we will discuss the second chapter of microeconomics, class 11th. The topic that we will discuss today is demand, demand functions, and income and substitution effect. Let us start the class. We people are having the wrong notion about the definition of the demand. When we have to define the demand, we feel demand means desire. But in economics, the meaning of the demand is totally different. And the word demand and the desire, they are not synonymous to each other. The question is, what is demand then? Demand is the effective desire for the commodity. Now the next question is, what is effective desire? And when the desire becomes effective? The, de- the desire becomes effective when it is being supported by three factors. Number one, there is a willingness to purchase for a commodity. Number one. Second is the person is having the financial capability to purchase. And the third is the person want to spend the money. If these three factors are present, then immediately the demand turns to effective desire. And this effective desire is called demand. Let us see what is being written over here. In economics, both are distinct. We have seen that the demand and the desire both are different. Desire refers to those wishes that a human being cherishes, such as walking on moon, to be a billionaire, to buy a Rolls Royce, etc. These are the whims which we already have. They wishes not to be always backed by enough finance to relish. We always want that our desire should be accomplished. But however, when a desire is backed with sufficient purchasing power along with the consumer readiness to spend on materializing the wish, the desire becomes demand. It means that when a whim is backed by purchasing capacity and we are ready to spend the money, then and only then the desire becomes demand. So, demand for a commodity refers to the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing and is able to purchase at a particular price at any particular point of time. Now, let us see what is demand and what is quantity demanded. Demand for a commodity refers to the various quantities of a commodity that a consumer is willing to purchase at a particular price. So, when the quantity is not mentioned, it is called demand. And when we affix the word quantity and when we specify the quantity of a commodity a consumer is willing to purchase, then it is called quantity demanded. So, the difference between the demand and the quantity demanded is the quantification of the demand. Take the example. For example, a consumer demands 2 kg of sugar at 10 rupees, 3 kg of sugar at 8 rupees. It is called quantity demanded. And when we say consumer demands sugar, consumer demands rice, it is called demand. Because here we have not quantified the demand. Now let us see how we represent the demand. Listen, we know that in economics there are two ways of representing anything. Right now we just talk about the demand. So there are two ways to represent demand. One is through the schedule and the other one is through the curve. When I say demand can be represented to the schedule, it means representing the demand through the table. Let us see what is demand schedule. Demand schedule is a tabular presentation showing the relationship between price and the quantity demanded of that commodity at a particular point of time. So what is demand schedule? It is a tabular presentation showing the relationship between price of the commodity and the quantity demanded by a consumer at a particular point of time. of that commodity, obviously. The demand schedule can be of two types. Number one, individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule. Individual demand schedule means what, and the market demand schedule means what, that we will see. Let us see the individual demand schedule, a tabular representation showing the different quantities of a commodity demanded by a consumer, demanded by a consumer at different prices at a particular point of time. In the schedule, we can see at different prices. Let us see what Mr. A is demanding. The price of the commodity is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 that we can see over here. And the quantity demanded by Mr. A, consumer, is 100, 50, 25, 15, 5. One thing we can notice that there is a negative relationship between the two variables, price and demand. Price is increasing and the demand is decreasing. Clear? Now let us see. When the price is 10, the demand made by Mr. A is 100. When the demand increased to 15, when the price increased to 15, demand decreased to 50. When the price further increased to 20, demand further decreased to 25. So here we can say that the demand at different prices. So the table showing the different demand at different prices is called demand schedule. So the table showing the demand made by a consumer at different prices at a particular point of time is called demand schedule. I hope the point is clear. Now let us see the market demand schedule. It is a tabular presentation showing the relationship between price and the demand made by group of individuals. The only difference between the individual and the market is, in the case of individual, only one consumer might be there, and in the case of market, group of individuals should be there, because group makes the market. Sum total of all the individual is called market. Fine, let us see. So what is market demand schedule? It is a tabular presentation showing the demand at different prices. In this table, try to see the price is 10, 15, 20, 52, and the demand made by consumer A. When the price is 10, the demand made by consumer A is 5, and the demand made by consumer B is 6. So the total demand or the market demand is 5 plus 6, 11. When the price increased to 15, demand made by A is 4, demand made by B is 5, and the market demand, that is the total of A and B, is 9, and so on. So here we can see what is market demand. Market demand is the tabular presentation showing the demand at different price level. I hope the point is clear. Now let us see the second way of presenting demand. The second way of presenting the demand is through the curve. So what is demand curve? It is a graphical representation of demand function. What it means? It means it is a graphical representation showing demand at different price level at a particular point of time. So graphical presentation showing demand made by an individual or group of individuals at different price interval is called demand curve. This is the graph, and we can see that it is falling down, and we know that the demand is affected by many factors. The factors or the functions affecting demand we will discuss later on. So we can say here the demand means what? It is a graphical representation showing demand made by individual or group of individuals at different price intervals. Clear? As we have seen that the demand schedule is of two types. Similarly, the demand curve is also two types: individual demand curve and the market demand curve. Let us see what is individual demand curve. The graphical presentation showing the quantities demanded by an individual at different point of time or different price interval or different price is called individual demand curve. Graphical presentation showing different demand at different price level is called individual demand curve. Market demand curve, it is a graphical presentation showing the quantities of a commodity that an individual is able and willing to buy at different prices. Demand made by A, we can see over here. Demand made by B, we can see over here. And here we can see it is the summation of demand made by A and demand made by E, or consumer A plus consumer B is market demand. Study demand function. Demand function means what? It is a relationship between demand and the factors affecting demand. So what is demand function? The functional relationship between demand and the factors affecting demand is called demand function. So now we will study the factors which can affect the demand. Demand for a commodity depends upon different variables beside the price. Price is one of the factor which can affect the demand, but demand is also affected by other factors, other variables. The relationship between these variables and the demand for a commodity can be expressed in a functional form, which is called demand function. The demand functions can be of following two types: individual demand functions and the market demand functions. When I say individual demand functions, it means the factors affecting the demand of individual consumers. And when we say market demand function, it means the relationship between the demand made by in the market and the factors affecting the demand of the group of consumers in the market. Let us study the individual demand functions. An individual demand function expresses the relationship between the quantity demanded by an individual consumer and various determinants. When I say various determinants, it means factors affecting demand. The following are the major determinants of individual demand for a good. That is price of the commodity, Px, Py, price of the other goods, Y, disposable income or income of the consumers, and the fourth one is taste and preference of the consumers. So these are the different variables which affect the demand made by an individual consumer. So the functional relationship between demand and the factors affecting the demand made by an individual is called demand function, individual demand function. The first determinant is price of the commodity. It's a very important factor affecting the demand. And remember, there is a negative relationship. There is always exist a negative relationship between demand and the price of the commodity. What it means? It means that if the price of the commodity increase, the demand decreases and vice versa. In the graph, we can see that the graph is falling down from left to right. What it means? It means that if the price increase, the demand is decreasing, or when the price decrease, demand is increasing, and vice versa. So that is one of the factors affecting the demand. And we have often seen when the price of X commodity is increasing, more and more people stop the purchase or they decrease the purchase of the commodity. And the reverse thing happens when the price of the commodity falls. So here we can see the negative relationship exists between the price and the demand. The next determinant is of factors affecting the demand is the price of other goods. Remember one thing, the demand of a good also depends upon the price of the other goods. In economic term, the price of the other good is called related goods. It means that the demand of the commodity can also be affected by the price of related goods. Remember one thing, there are two types of the related goods, or we can categorize the goods into two categories. One is called the substitute goods and the other one is called the complementary goods. One by one we will discuss the relationship and we will see how the different types of the goods will affect the demand of a good. The first is substitute goods. Let us see the meaning of the substitute goods. Substitute goods means the goods that we can use in place of the main goods. For example, tea and coffee. So I hope the substitute good is clear to you. What is substitute goods? The goods that we can use in place of the main good is called substitute goods. Uh, tea and coffee is the example. Colgate and Pepsodent is the example. Cello pen and the Renault pen is the example. So these are the examples of the substitute goods. Remember one thing, in the case of the substitute goods, the relationship between the price of the substitute goods and the demand of the main good, there is a direct relationship. What it means? It means when the price of the substitute goods is increasing, the demand of the main good also start increasing up. How? Suppose the price of, suppose we are the price of say cello pen is increasing up, so automatically the demand of the Renault pen automatically increases. Why? Because more and more consumers who are consuming cello will start using the Renault pen. So there is a there is a positive relationship which we see. When the price increase, the demand of the main good automatically increases. Try to understand it through the graph. Suppose our main good is tea. Clear? Or just see, okay, just take. Suppose the main good is coffee. I like coffee, so I just take the example coffee. Suppose the main good is coffee. Let us see. Suppose there is an increase, there is a hike in the price of tea. We know that there is a negative relationship between price and demand. So when there is a hike in the price of tea, the demand for coffee will, sorry, the demand for tea will decrease. Why? Because it becomes more and more impossible for the consumer to purchase more and more unit of the commodity. Why? Because they can't afford. So when the price of the tea increase, what will happen? The demand for the tea will decrease. And we know that the consumer has to do something. If they are unable to purchase tea, they will find out the substitute, what I can consume. And see here, the price of the coffee is the same. There is no change in the price. So what will happen when the price increase? The demand for coffee will start increasing up. Earlier the demand is DD, and it increased to D1 D1. Why? Because tea is impossible to purchase, but coffee we can purchase. So we can see that the price of the coffee is the same, but because of change in the price of tea, the demand of the coffee is increasing and vice versa. So this is one of the factor which can affect the demand for the commodity. So here we can say, because of increase in the price of tea, there is increase in the demand of coffee. So which type of the relationship we exist over here? We exist and we see the direct relationship. That happens in the case of substitute goods. Here we can see price and demand. Now let us study the complementary goods. Firstly, we should know what is the meaning of the complementary goods. Complementary goods are the goods that we can use along with the main goods. The good that we can use along with the main good is called complementary goods. Example, tea with sugar, pen with ink, printer with pen. I mean, these are the complementary goods. Car with petrol. So these are the complementary goods. Remember, there is a negative relationship between the price of the complementary goods and the demand for the main goods. How? Suppose the price of petroleum is increasing. What will happen? The demand of the petrol car will decrease. Why? Because I mean it becomes impossible, they can't afford. So what type of the relationship we are seeing over here? The negative relationship. Take one more example. Suppose the sugar is increasing, the price of the sugar is increasing. What will happen? The demand for tea will decrease. So that is a complementary. I mean, we see the negative relationship exists between the main goods and the complementary goods. Here we can see price is increasing and the demand is decreasing. Price is decreasing and the demand is increasing. Now one more determinant we study. The other is income of the consumer. What it means? Remember one thing. Income of the consumer also influence the demand for goods. Suppose the income of the consumer is increasing, the demand for the goods will also increase. And if the income of the consumer is decreasing, the demand made by him will also decrease. Price is the same, but because of change in income of the consumer, he will increase the demand or he will decrease the demand. Price is the same. So this is one of the factors affecting the demand. This graph shows that when the income of a consumer increase, the demand increase from D1 to D2. Here we can say price is the same. When the income increase, the consumer will increase the demand from from D1 to D2. And when the income decrease, the demand automatically decreases from D1 to D3. So this shows that there is a positive relationship between income and demand. Let us see the next factors affecting the demand, that is taste and preferences. Taste and preferences highly influence the demand for goods, provided other things remains the same. Suppose a consumer is having a favorable, I mean, if a consumer like the taste of a product, automatically the demand increases. Here we can say the consumer A likes the taste. Earlier he was making the demand D1. He start developing the liking for the taste. So what will happen? The demand automatically increases from D1 to D2. And when the consumer no more like the taste, then what will happen? He will decrease the demand. The price is the same, but because of change in taste and preferences, the demand is increasing and decreasing. Now let us see the market demand functions. Similar to the individual demand function, market demand function presents the relationship between the market demand for of a goods and its various determinants. The various determinants is Px, Py, Y, T, and Yd. The market demand function can be represented in this form. This is the functional relationship. Let us see. Px means market price of goods X. Py means market demand for goods, related goods. Y means income of the consumers, taste and preferences of the consumers. N means population. Y means distribution of income. Let us see its effect. First is market price of the goods. We know that if the price of the commodity is increasing or decreasing, the group of people will increase the demand and the group of people will decrease the demand. So we can say that the price also affects the market demand. The only difference between the market and the individual is earlier we were talking about the individual response. Now we are talking about the collective response. Second is price of the other. The same thing happens. There is a negative relationship between the complementary goods and the demand for the main goods, and the positive relationship between the substitute and the demand for the substitute. I mean, we have seen it. The only difference over here is now we have to see the effect on the mob. We know substitute goods are there, and we have discussed positive relationship. When the price of the substitute goods increase, more and more people or people as a whole will increase the demand for the main goods. So market demand will increase or market demand will decrease. So positive relationship exists between the price of the substitute goods and the demand for the main goods. In the case of the complementary goods, the negative relationship exists between the price of the complementary goods and the demand of the main goods. If the price of the complementary goods increase, market demand of the main good will also start increasing up or decreasing up. When the price increase, the demand will decrease, and the price decrease, demand will increase. Market demand will increase or decrease. Income of the consumer. Remember one thing, change in the income of the consumer affects the market demand for the goods, but the effect depends upon the type of the goods. See, in the case of the normal goods means branded goods. In the case of the normal goods, there is a positive relationship between the income and the demand. When the income increase, the demand for the normal goods also increase up and vice versa. And in the case of inferior goods or the given goods, there exists a negative relationship. So when the income increase, the demand for the inferior or the given goods also decrease. It decrease. So in the case of market demand and the income of the consumers, so market demand for inferior goods and the income of the consumers has the negative relationship. Now let us see the taste and preferences. We have already discussed. The same thing is there. If the consumers, if in the market the consumers have the positive response, they like the taste, the demand will increase, market demand will increase, and vice versa. Population size, remember one thing, when the size of the population is increasing, the demand will increase. It means that the market will, the size of the market influence the demand made by the market. If more and more people is coming in the market, it means that if the size of the people is increasing, if the population is increasing, the demand, the market demand will also increase. So there is a positive relationship between the population and the market demand. Next is distribution income. If there is a equal distribution of income, then the market demand is more, and if there is unequal distribution of income, that the market demand is less. What it means? It means that if there is an equal distribution of income, it means more and more people will meet the demand. They are in the position to demand for the commodity. So the demand, market demand will increase. And if there is an unequal distribution, it means only limited people are having the money. Then definitely the demand will come from the limited people. So demand will be more, demand will be less. So in the case of equal distribution, market demand will increase, and in the case of unequal distribution of income, the market demand will decrease. That's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.